You started.
This is Barbara Straub. I'm Art Straub. We invented the term river rats, and we kind of resent it when now all kinds of people call themselves river rats, because we are the original river rats. Where were you born, Barbara?
I was born on the banks of the Rush River, which is close to Sueur.
We have a young lady who is now an environmental lawyer in Alaska, and so we're really proud. A lot of young people who have retained and maintained and grown in their interests in nature and now are active themselves and replicating the programs that we've had. Sam is a denizen of Rush River. His dad takes himself and his family down there. You have found an elk relic on the horns of bison horns,
and a bison leg.
and presto, Sam gets his bison. And about 3 o'clock of an afternoon, the sun was just right. It was shining on the river, and we saw a rainbow sheen. And the rainbow moved on down the river towards us, and after it had passed, a muskrat crawled out of the river and died at our feet from hypothermia. It was spring migration time for the mallard ducks and other ducks. And so as that sheen of soybean oil went down the river, we felt absolutely hopeless and helpless. There was no one to call at the time. There was no one to notify. There was nobody to complain to. After the Citizen Advisory Committee meeting, after Arne Carlson's pledge, we have to pinpoint a couple of critical people and organizations that sprang up. And one was Scott Sparlin. Scott started small, going out to the schools, singing songs to get kids motivated. His songs touched the hearts of folks, and especially kids. People began to notice the condition of the river and the slime in the summertime and the direct deposits of peas and corn juice and chemicals of all kinds. Now, it just happens that a fellow by the name of Larry Granger was on that Citizens Advisory Committee, but he's the one then who came up with certain dreams, such as the building in which we are now. It began to get people stirred up.
That's when we really became excited, I think, too, that there was maybe some hope.
So it was about that time that we started Nature Neighbors, because we discovered that kids didn't know the bugs and the beetles and the frogs in their backyards, or the names of anything, that we've become so civilized that we don't know what's going on around us anymore. And so we felt that if we did something in the summertime, maybe it would carry over into school curriculums. We were able to introduce environmental education into the classroom, and that's when that movement came about, was in the 70s, 80s, somewhere in there. We now have a mini science museum on the main street of Henderson, Minnesota, for anyone to visit. It's because we're coming to the end of our lives and had hoped to see even more. But the communication that's going on and the gathering of people with CURE and other organizations, the focus on the river is much stronger. So for a bit we get a little depressed, and then we rejoice. The nourishment from the plants of the Minnesota River Valley are part of our bodies and our bones and our minds and our sinews. So we are part of the soil, and we'll return to that soil.